ASMR video. So today we are doing another photo. What did I call it last time? I don't know, photo collection, stuff like that. Whatever, you know what I mean. Let me just take this hair out of my microphone. I don't know why it's in there. Okay, I think it's gone. Anyways, so I hope you guys are all doing good. This is my second attempt at making this video. First off, I want to let you know that I am using my phone's hotspot for this because we lost power. We had a hurricane come through. What's today? Today's Sunday, so it came in early Wednesday morning, and here we are on Sunday. We had no power for 2 days, and we got power back luckily. So I've been content with it. But the Patriots played last night, and I drove to my local Walmart to watch the game. So it's starting to get a little bit annoying, but oh well. So anyway, I'm gonna be showing some photos from from obviously, as you can see, September 15th, back to like early 2019, March 2019. All these photos that you guys are gonna be seeing, excuse me, I took myself, as per usual. A few of them I'm not gonna be showing for obvious reasons. If they're not like an actual photo, like it's a screenshot of something, which you can see I have some on here. I'm not gonna show that for obvious reasons, but and then just another heads up, the photos might be slow to load. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm using my hotspot, so I'm trying to work with the best I got here, but hopefully it'll be somewhat quickly. So starting photo, this was taken Wednesday night. Or no, that was actually Tuesday night. Tuesday night, because we still had power. This is a picture of the cul-de-sac here. That is the rainwater that flooded that, and as you can see, it is a lot of water. That's where I usually park my car. That's where the sewer is. There's a manhole there and there. So yeah, it was definitely crazy. It was very deep. I'd say this right here is about 3 to 4 inches deep. It was pretty crazy, but that was, well, since I showed it, that right there was a conversation between myself and someone on Discord. He got mad and he messaged me on his alt account. So the one with the paddling, which that was him. I do not condone that kind of language. In fact, I might edit that out because I don't want to have any issues with that. So, these photos here were taken at the train yard in Pensacola. I think that was a ST40 now, the GP38, I think. Then there's some boxcars, but yeah, I saw those there, so I figured why not, take some photos of them. Again, here's some engines. Yep. Just a bunch of not important stuff. So here was my trip back to Pensacola from Boston. So this year I went up to New Hampshire in March and I stayed until late August. So it was the longest I've been in New Hampshire for quite some time. And actually I do need to mute that so that situation doesn't happen. These are all the photos I took. There's a 767 that I flew on right here. That was leaving Boston. That's New York City. That's Boston. I think that's some sort of power plant they have in Boston. At least I think that's what it is. Probably, yeah. Yeah, just photos. I really like that one. You can see all the boats entering in. And then that was the plane at the gate. That's the inside of the plane. And that's the plane itself, 767, like I said. So, these photos, obviously I worked on the boats again this summer, and this was actually a very fun day. This was August 19th, my last day of working there. My boss had me work the morning shift on the Doris, which is the smaller boat, and then this year, for the first time, I actually worked on the Mount, so that was fun. So I worked Doris in the morning and the Mount at night. And then later that night, my friends and I and a coworker, we went out to Applebee's and we had some food and just enjoyed the fun time. Unfortunately, that'd be the last for a little while, anyways. But so that was the same morning. Here on the Mount, I had to get my sunglasses I left on there. So beautiful day, really was. I want to try and find a way. I think from now on, if I do like these kinds of the photo showcase videos, I think I'm gonna do it with the raw files, because as you can see, the quality on here isn't that great. Although if I showed you the ones on my phone, they'd look amazing. So, but yeah, it was a beautiful day. Clouds are way up high. Over here it became overcast, which kind of sucked, but the morning was beautiful, so that's all that matters. This photo was from the night before on the Mount. We were heading back to the weirs here, killing a little bit of time since, that's Eagle Island Narrows right there, and then the weirs is over here, so I didn't know if we really did a zigzag. We didn't do a zigzag, we just went out and then in like that. A photo of the sunset. I know you guys remember plenty of those from last video. So, this here is the back of the ship, the stern, if you want to get technical. So what we have here is some kind of ventilation system. I'm not too sure what it is. This big white thing here. Right here, this is a air conditioner, or I think it's an air conditioner. There's life jackets right here. This is a spotlight in case anyone falls overboard. Worst case scenario. So we'll turn that sucker on and try and find him with it. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to use, but. And then this right here is a speaker that we can use to talk to the wheelhouse, and then we can also hear them from there, obviously. So, this was me and my friends. We chased the train here. If any of you are unfamiliar with the term chasing the train, what it means is just following a train as it does its thing, as it goes on its route. But I just tagged along to hang out with them since my Colin was in town. Colin's the one in the green hat, but he was in town. Since we both work he works on the train and I work on the boat. They both stop at the same place, so we figured that since he was in town, we'll again figuratively in town, because we both work there. Anyways, to the point, we decided, he'll pick me up after work and we'll go chase the train, so that was fun. Another photo here on the Mount. Again, you can see the stern here. I feel like this photo would have been 10 times better if there wasn't passengers there, and I absolutely hate that, because, excuse my dogs, because you could kind of make out their faces if you really tried, but, there's Doris underway. I'm assuming I took this with my phone, because the quality kind of sucks. Here we were in Concord, and we saw a train go under the bridge that we were on, so why not? And just indescribable. You know, sometimes it's just truly like magnificent. At night, you know, you get the beautiful views of the mountains in the day, and then the really nice sunsets at night. So, again, here in the stern of the boat, you can tell by the big white ventilation system. This video is of the whistles we were going by. The boat has a horn and a whistle, so little fun fact. Again, just sun setting down on this, or the sun setting. Just took the photo, why not? This is, if you saw my other videos, I don't know if it showed the, well, just make this really simple. Actually, that's a different picture. Is it? No, I don't think it is. Maybe. No, it's not. So, here's the forward deck of the Mount Washington. Here's the lines that we used to dock the ship. And I'll talk more about those in a bit here. But, you know, it's just a really beautiful night, so I decided to snap a quick photo as I was walking around. I'm not going to say much about this photo for specific reasons, however. These are two trains, and we'll leave it at that. That's another train. This is, right here, actually I really like this. So I used to be big into model railroading, and my friend convinced me to start again. So I went on eBay and I bought that sucker right there. It's a CB Rail SW1000. It's kind of expensive, but it's really cool. I enjoy having it. I had fun running it on this layout here. This is my friend Jimmy, well, Jimmy, whatever you want to call him. This is his layout, and it's actually really big. I think there's another. Nope, there isn't another photo. But it was really cool. I enjoy running it. I'm probably going to get another train, but I've yet to figure that out. Well, I'm going to, but so that's a picture of the boats. Right here's the Mount Washington, aka the Mount, and right there's Doris. That's the small boat that I used to only work on. And this year, like I said, I started working on the Mount, so it was very fun. That's my dog Cooper. He was just chilling on the couch, so I snapped a photo of him. That is a very big spider that I saw on the boat and I killed. This thing was huge, like, God, it was freaking huge. The biggest spider I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So these are some fireworks that I don't know who had them, but somebody launched some fireworks off of their barge at the weirs, and you know, I just got off the cruise with my friend, so I figured why not, you know, go take some photos with them. There's obviously Doris and the fireworks behind it. So here's the rear of the ship. You can see the spotlight and the big ventilation thingy. There's a photo of a flag in the moon. Once again, sunset with the flag. Same thing. So, this photo, I was really proud of myself because I threw this little line here all the way over here. You can just barely see it, make it out. So it's on the other side of the boat, or on the other side of Doris. So basically, this little line is attached to this bigger line, and we, since we can't really throw this line out to the person on the dock because we're too far away, and it is way too heavy, we use this little line and we throw it from the ship, and we have to get it over this thing so the person on the dock can lift up this line, put it on the on the bit. sunset. Actually, this is my desktop photo. I thought the other one was because I figured the other one was a wide angle and this one isn't, so I figured it. Just ignore my rationality. It's not great. Here's a photo from well, technically it's not from the wheelhouse, but it's from the wheelhouse. We have a gate right here to keep passengers out, and I was behind said gate, but like I said, you get some beautiful sunsets here. Like, just look at how freaking beautiful that is. And even though it was a cloudy day, it was still really nice. Again, just like look how bright that is. Obviously, everyone's having a very grand time by the looks of it, but not too sure why I took this photo, but it looks nice. So all these are a bunch of windmills, and the photo isn't focusing because I know it looks better than that. That's odd. Anyways, so these little sticks poking on the ground right here are all windmills, and they're about 30 miles away from where we are in the water, so I thought that was pretty cool. But this right here is a mountain. I don't know what mountain though, but took a photo of it because why not? That was after a 12-hour shift. 21,000 steps is not bad, if I don't say so myself. Here we were heading back to the weirs here. Just snapped a photo. And, again, we were just on the move, snapped a photo. This one I like. I wish I took it with my actual camera. I think it would have came out better, but there was a plane kind of flying, like circling us, so I snapped a picture of that in the bridge. This photo right here, I'm actually kind of proud of, especially this one. So I took these two photos with my cell phone and a pair of binoculars. I just stuck the camera right up to the binoculars, so that's why it has the whole, circle effect here. But I think it's a really nice photo. Right here, was my first day back on Doris. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'm known for my shining. I absolutely love having shiny stuff on the boat, especially the bell, because the bell is what sticks out to like everyone. Like, that's the first thing you see besides the boat itself is the bell, and it helps when it's really shiny. So, yeah, I just think it's nice, it's kind of like taking pride in your work. So this this cover right here it kind of looked like a mixture of that color and that color. It was rough, so I took some, I forget what kind of shining stuff I used. Keeper's Friend, I think. Something's Friend or something like that. I just used it and I cleaned it right up. So again, you can't beat it out here. It's truly beautiful. I absolutely love I'm getting paid to do this, to work on a ship, and I don't know, I just love it. Plus, I get free cruises, so it's kind of creme de la creme, if you know what I mean. Great job. However, I am at a crossroads because this video is going up first, so I recorded a bunch of videos before this one. Like I said, this is my second attempt recording this video. My first attempt was I recorded it a few weeks ago. I got a new job as a ramp agent with a company here in Pensacola that is based out of Atlanta, I believe. But anyways, long story short, obviously I want to be a pilot. That's why I have so many pictures of planes. So, I have been told there is a lot of potential with this new company that I'm with. And the only issue is it's a full-time job, which is great when I'm here in Pensacola. In like the school year. But when I go back up, I want to work on the ship, so it's gonna be interesting. They do, I believe they have the company that I work for now in Manchester at the airport there, so I could work part-time there. It'll be interesting, I'll have to figure it out, but that's not your guys' problem. And just to let you know, the reason I keep backing out of photos every now and then is because I'm just checking to make sure what photo is coming up, because I don't want it to be a video or, like a screenshot or something like that. But so here I am again, right next to the wheelhouse. This is what I talked about earlier. We have a little gate right there, blocking passengers from coming in. It's actually more over here, but you get the idea. So that was on the stern of the ship. We were doing stern watch. Actually, we were just about done with stern watch. Well, I wasn't even doing stern watch. I was just watching how to do it. But this is the wake the ship was throwing up when I believe they started to come ahead, and they were backing up pretty quickly. So they put the engines, like, they gave it a bit more throttle than they usually would to stop the ship and get it going forward. So that's why it threw up on that water. But like I said, videos that I don't want you guys to see, or not see, but to hear. I don't want to risk like having a loud sound, even though I muted my desktop audio. The videos were, I guess I don't want to hear it myself, but that's just a video on the back of the ship when the captains like brought the throttles up, because we wow. So you can just like hear everything rumbling and like kind of see all the shaking. Basically, since the ship can't go to all its destinations, and that's kind of how they moderate the engines, keep them clean and everything, is by running them a lot. They had to run them a bit harder this year, and that's what the video is. You can see all that. Anyways, we are still recording, right? Okay, perfect. So, here's another video. We're underway. Or another picture. We're underway. Again, another picture. That's my dog, Maggie. Again, that's my dog, Maggie. You can make out her face here and her teeth there. Again. So, this photo I took at the Weirs, obviously. But, me and my friends were just hanging out there. And there was some thunder and lightning, and I really wanted to get a photo with lightning in the background. But it's ridiculous. Like, it's nearly impossible to time a photo like that, to get the quick burst of lightning. So I took a video, and I screenshotted when the lightning showed up, obviously, or struck rather, and I edited the photo, trying to make it look nice, but the photo saved like at this size for some reason. I don't know why. So that's when I was dropping my friend Andrew off in Boston. That's on the way back to New Hampshire, actually. But my friend Andrew flew up this summer. It was a really fun time. Okay, good. He lives in Michigan, and we don't really get to talk anymore. Or obviously, I don't get to see him often. That was the first time I saw him in like 3 years. So, we took a few days off and we hung out. I absolutely want to go back here when I get my new camera. So this is Boston at like 5 in the morning. I saw this, like, we had some time to kill, so I figured, alright, fuck it, we're not gonna go to the airport, we're gonna drive around a bit, try and take photos. So I drove in to Boston, and it was, like I said, 5 in the morning, there wasn't any cars, and I saw this scene, and I'm like, holy shit, I want to get a photo here. I mean, just look at that, the water, the boat, the buildings, it's just all beautiful. So I drove past it. I kind of manually navigated around. I didn't have my GPS on. photo or two, and then hop back in. It was crazy. Nerve-wracking too, because just like I didn't want a car to come up behind me and all that jazz. So this is the Boston airport. This was from across like the water, obviously, but this over here where I am is the main city, and over there is the airport area. So yeah. Again, this is when we were driving there. When we first got into Boston, I wanted to get some photos, and I snapped that one. There is me and my friends. That's the night I took the photo with the lightning. Now, one of these people here is not my friend, and I will let you take a guess at who. Chances are you're probably not going to get it right. And yeah, but anyways. So we have a live cam here at I guess the beach, if you want to call it, but, and, here's the mountain, here's the dock, so I knew the live cam was on and running, so I figured, well, since we're here, I might as well get a screenshot of us being there, so, yeah. And then there's another photo from that day, obviously. A bunch more. I really like that photo. I think it looks nice. What is this? It's a video. So this is when me and Andrew drove up north, and if you guys actually this was the first year I did it, so you guys don't know about it. So I'll talk more about this in a bit, but we do these the few times this summer. We did these trips up north to North Conway and Bartlett and all that stuff, and very scenic area, very beautiful. But anyways, what we would do, and I'm saying a lot, and I don't like it, but anyways, I'm saying that a lot too. It's annoying, and fuck. I was trying to lead off with not one of those three words. So we, me and my friend, fuck Christ, dude. Okay, I need to stop. I'm being too loud. We would take long. It's a nature habit. We would take long exposure photos in the night here, and we just get some really nice shots of old buildings and primarily the sky at night. We just wanted to get photos of the stars and the Milky Way and all that jazz. So I took Andrew up this one night. Normally it would be me and Colin and other people, but me and Andrew went since Colin didn't want to go, and we just had a really good time. We hung out, and it was nice to hang out, show him what I like, and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully he comes back. We'll do it again next year. But so Mount Washington, not the ship, up in northern New Hampshire, there is a very long road leading from the area that we normally take photos at, which is called the Gateway. So it's about 5 miles away from Mount Washington. Yeah, 5 miles. And there's this really long straight road that leads from the Gateway to Mount Washington, and it's really a wooded area. There's a DOT station right in the woods there, but it's up a vacant area and just a bunch of trees. So since we're normally doing this trip at 2 or 3 in the morning, you'd figured no state troopers would be out there. So 9 times out of 10, I'd just gun it down that road, do 100 and whatnot. But don't drive like this, kids. Especially at night, there's a whole bunch of animals that could hop out right in front of you and crash your car. So I am an experienced driver, and even then I shouldn't be doing it. Sorry, I'm getting a sip of my drink. Okay, so this was a photo of the Mount Early. I don't have to explain this. I'm gonna explain this one though. I saw a photo like this a year ago that someone took, and I'm like, okay, I really want to replicate it. So So I took my phone and I went there and I just grabbed some of these shots. I really liked them. That was the same morning. Andrew. Andrew used that filter on Colin, and I screenshot. It was absolutely hilarious, but oh man, that was a great night. I definitely want to do it again. But so here we are at Fun Spot, the most odd group ever you could imagine. So there was some machines over here that were like absolutely broken and just like basically gave away tickets. So one of our friends spent I think like $60 on a bunch of tokens so we could get this many tickets. Now normally you'd get like 100 or 200 tickets like max for your entire trip, but we got 2,900. So here was the night before the mount coming in. You can see the spotlight here. I like the photo. This was where my friend works. You can see that's a train right there. And, obviously the fucking railroad tracks, if it couldn't be any more obvious. But so this is where they the park the train. That one isn't really used. The one that is used was the one that I was standing on. So now this was the first day I was on the spring line. Now you may be asking me, Patrick, what is a spring line? There's a giant rope right here that I was telling you guys about, where we had to use the little rope to get this big rope across. This is the spring line. And basically the objective, this line right here holds the ship into the dock. All the other lines kind of just like help it, make sure it's nice and snug. And it's a redundancy thing, but so okay, we're still recording good. So this giant line right here holds this ship to the dock, and the objective of this is you want to get this red marker here on the ship to match up with the red marker on the piling. Now, this was my first day on the spring line. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I don't know, I'm going crazy. So I think I did a great job. This is a really interesting process. What you do is you have all this line lined up over here, and once we come in, you do figure eights. So this, it's like this. The eye of the line, or the open part that you can put it on stuff. I'm trying to explain but my brain isn't working. The eye of the line is like held on, or is kept right here, and then once we throw the little line over, we throw the eye of the line of this line into the water so they can put it on the bit. And once it's on the bit, then you need to be really quickly, because you're basically like the fate of the ship. You're the person stopping the ship alongside the engines, but this is like primarily the one that's going to keep it there. So you go around and around and around, throw on a lock, and then you just keep doing figure eights. It's really fun. It sounds boring, but it's fun. My friends and I were at the Weirs this day, and it was like storming badly, so we were obviously right here, and we saw the ship come in, but we decided I'm gonna back out of that so I don't use up my data. But I just got a photo note there. That's Colin on the train, the caboose. As you can see, this is how close we work to each other. The train station's over here, but that's where the train stops, and obviously the ship's docked here, so that's that. That's me. Hello. I was on doors that day, and I took a photo. Felt cute, might delete later. So this was one of my first days working on the mount. Maybe it wasn't my first day, but it was close. I wasn't close. But I just kind of I felt like I was on a cruise, As you can see, it has the cruise on the cup, but that is a pink lemonade, or not pink lemonade, blueberry lemonade, and they taste incredible. Virgin blueberry lemonade, because normally you put vodka in there or some shit, I don't know. But what it is lemonade and some blueberry mix in, or blueberry, I'm trying to using the train here, but Colin wanted me to get some photos of the lightning, so I did it. Yeah, why not? This right here, I think that was my first ever pina colada. I don't remember having one before that. Again, virgin, but it was gross. It didn't really taste good at all. So, 4th of July, right here. I was on doors that day, and they had a 4th of July boat parade, or a Trump parade. It was one of the two. I think it was a Trump parade that day, or a little bit of a mix, I don't know. But it was a really interesting time having to clear the traffic there, because we're supposed to dock over here where this building is, and obviously we had to get through all of that. It was just a mess, a lot of boaters, so we used the air horn a lot, and we used the regular horn a lot. And then there's a great photo telling you, or showing you guys how close my job is and Colin's job is to each other. We actually share this, well, kind of share the same building. This building belongs to my company. It's the old train station. And then, excuse my giggles, I'm having a really good time. I'm just kind of remembering this, but there's a little shack right here. I just kind of outlined it with a mouse. That is their building. But anyways, it was fun. That's inside of Doris. I wonder who was working with that day. The 4th of July is probably Bob. No, I think that was Evan. I don't know. So this is driving down the road that my friend lives on. It was downhill, super foggy, so I'm like, yeah, we'll get a photo. Why not? I like foggy mornings. Here we are. He chased a train again. There's a nice fisheye of the lake. Just a small shower, and then all the rest is pretty nice. Again, got a few scattered showers here. Pretty much overcast. Or scattered clouds. Well, I'd call it overcast, but and then just a nice calm blue day. You know, this is as nice as it gets. I don't know. I know some people kind of prefer just like days where it's just absolute blue sky, no clouds at all, but I really like it when it's just like clouds every like 13 miles. You know, just nice to have a cloud here and there, but that is a emergency code list that we use on the ship. I'm not going to show you guys that for obvious reasons, but so we actually wanted a boxcar in a train with permission, obviously. We were cleaning it out, and they said, you know, take whatever you want. And so I found this old siren in there. Well, technically Colin found it, but I cleaned it up, and yeah, it requires 250 volts. So I don't know if we're ever going to power it up, because I don't know where I'm gonna find 250 volts. But DVD. If we do power it up and you guys want to see a video, let me know. I know. Yeah. Anyways, that wasn't the boxcar. This was at a yard. I'm not gonna tell you where it is, but. And I drove the truck. It's a really fun drive. Anyways, that was the siren when we found it, and that was when I cleaned it up, so I think I did a pretty good job. There's Maggie again. She's just chilling on the couch. She's so cute when she sits like that. I love it. So here was my actual first day of work on the ship, as you can tell by the many photos. This big red thing's the anchor. That's some more lines. It's a closet. We keep all of our cleaning supplies. There's bathrooms down there. Cool story. That's a video for when we're underway. That is a meme that I stole in case I need to use it for obvious reasons. So no joke. This is how this guy parked. He was not in his truck, and he was nowhere to be found. As you can see, this is the middle of the road, so I had to take a picture. I mean, this is incredible. That was the same morning that this dipshit parked. This was in Concord, though, so we came down to Concord, we saw the train, took some photos, because why not? Now, this right here is a very sentimental piece of history that I have in my house. Now, you may be wondering, what the fuck is that? Well, I will gladly tell you. So Delta retired their MD-80 series aircraft this summer, unfortunately. That was the first commercial airliner I ever flew on, and I fell in love with it, you know, the second I got on there. Just from, and you'll see in my other videos. I explained the MD-80 and all that jazz, but I emailed Delta, and this is what they sent me, and I am absolutely forever grateful. This is a panel from the first officer's side of the cockpit, and that's the yoke, so they use that to fly the plane, but, man, I couldn't believe it, like, when they sent that to me, like, I literally, like, started to cry. So, well, I teared up, I didn't bawl like crying, but, I don't know, I think it's just absolutely crazy, you know, it's awesome. So, these are the photos that I was talking about. The long exposure photos. And I think I'm going to do a separate video on these because I have a whole bunch of photos from these trips. So I really want you guys to see those. But, this is the Milky Way and the stars. I absolutely love taking these photos. It's really funny because this time last year I did not know how to take a long exposure photo, and then fast forward to today and now I'm taking photos like this. It's not a great photo, you know, my camera, and I always bitch and moan about my camera, oh my camera this, my camera that, but you know, truly my camera isn't really meant to take this kind of photo. It's kind of just not a point and shoot, but it's for beginners, like I always say. So you would expect the beginner to use it on automatic mode and just take photos of shit in the daylight, and if it's not daylight, then it has to flash. Well, yeah, I'm a bit past that, but like I said, you know, hopefully a few more months and I'll have a new camera and get some better photos, but, and the photo quality is lower because, just because it's on Google, it's on Google Photos, so it's not the original file, but this, oh man, I love this photo, even though it sucks. So there is an old quarry in Redstone, New Hampshire, called the Redstone Quarry. To make a long story short, me and my friend Ben walked from my car to this quarry. It was about a 20-minute walk in the pitch black dark. Luckily, I had my very bright flashlight there, and that's what I was using. If I turned that off, it was pitch black. So, it was my friend Andrew, Colin, Ben, and I. We were all doing an overnight trip, taking photos and stuff. So, what we did was, Ben and I decided, because I really wanted to see it. I've never seen it, and I wanted to take photos there. So, Ben and I decided, well, you know, we'll go, and Colin and Andrew will stay in the car and watch it. Which is a really good idea, because we parked in this little side street, which led, like, to the trail, the start of the trail. And on that side street was just a bunch of, like, homes, and not even lit homes. It was, like, 2 houses, and then this abandoned farmhouse thing, shack, that was creepy as fuck. And there was no lights on the street, so, and since it was a newer car, we figured, you know, it'd be smart to at least have 2 people here, 2 people there. So I'm just checking my phone, making sure we're good data-wise and all that, but so, after we did the walk in the dark, and we arrived here, oh man, it was creepy as hell. And it wasn't the fact that we were in the pitch black, New Hampshire, you know, woods. It was the fact that this is like a 300-foot deep story short thing, it was really interesting. You can see that right there. This was part of the quarry. I really wanted to. That was actually one of the only parts that you could see. In the quarry side, there was a bunch of other large poles like this, and then some wires hanging from up top. But at nighttime, it would have been impossible to shoot. Like, I would have had to hold my camera shutter open for 5 minutes, and I'm not gonna explain that. Just it gets too technical. So, but yeah, fun time. Another meme. So this is when Colin and I went to Portland, Maine. I think it might have been out of the blue as well, but that was a fun trip. That was the first time I've ever been to Portland. This is an old railroad bridge. I've driven over it many times in Train Simulator, so it was really cool to see it in person. I believe they're tearing it down this year, though, so I'm glad I got to see it before it was torn down. But so we rode on this railroad here. You can see the train. It was a narrow gauge railroad, so it was a smaller track than it doesn't have like big trains that you're used to seeing. That was the harbor, kind of going into the ocean. That was a giant yacht that we saw in Portland, and like it was fucking huge. Yeah, it wasn't as big as the mount lengthwise. It was close, but it was definitely taller than it, like height-wise. But there's a photo from inside the train. We sat inside the caboose that day, so it was actually really cool. Normally, like people or companies will charge you to ride in a caboose because they're not really common nowadays. But here you can sit wherever you wanted, so it was cool. That's a plane flying over. I'm not gonna play that because of sound. That was a giant ship. They had more in there. Yes, it wasn't. It kind of was out of the blue, but it kind of wasn't. This was the reason why we went there. So there's a trolley museum somewhere in Maine, and they were having an event here. And Colin is in the club that was hosting the event, or assisting with the hosting. So we went and we had a fun time. It was not speeder days, but they had some speeders and a trolley running on the track, and you got to ride in it for free, so it was cool. But this is some of their museum pieces here. Just a bunch of old trolleys. There's a bus. That reminds me of the one from Transit. Like, it kind of looks identical, but just some more buses. I'm not really a trolley or bus guy, but I thought these were cool. This one, since it's supposed to be from California on that one, because it looks like the transit bus. But that is a Long Island Railroad passenger car. As you can see, it's seen better days, but I've been to New York many times and have ridden on the Long Island Railroad, so that's why I took the picture of that. I thought it was pretty cool to see. But it was actually kind of funny because I was talking about the Long Island Railroad earlier in the day with Colin. But that's the inside of the trolley. It was an okay ride. It was a really hot day, and there's no air conditioning or fans on there, and they didn't want you to have the windows open, or they did, but I don't know. I didn't bother opening it, because why not? And this was kind of when COVID was like really, kind of still, not really a still thing, because obviously it's still a thing, but this is when COVID was a bit more feared by people, I guess, if you want to put it like that. So separation was a really big thing here. We didn't have too many people that went, but they just moved people around a lot. I remember that. It was kind of annoying. Like I said, I love foggy mornings. This is the soccer field, or, well, baseball field, soccer field, baseball field, the school by my grandparents, and I just absolutely love it when I head over there early in the morning, if I stay the night, and just, enjoy myself and enjoy life. because I did the same thing about 4 years ago when I was there in 2016 for my summer trip. I remember I walked here early in the morning and just, you know, just kind of looked around, saw the fog, and it's nice. And then here comes the Mad Dog meme, which means we're getting close to the Mad Dog photos. So like I was saying earlier, the MD-80, technically the MD-88 retired, and the MD-90, so that's a photo of an MD-88 there. They made, they used this meme template. It was a very, loved airplane by aviators. Pilots and passengers, or Ave geeks, they loved it. Ramp crew, I was told when I was actually interviewing for my job, with my new company, they told me that, from an Ave geek perspective, they loved, working the plane, but, everything else, from actually working perspective, they hated it. And, I've heard that a few times, that it was kind of a pain in the ass, especially for mechanics, since it was sold and they didn't make parts for it anymore, but, I loved it. So, a really popular plane among passengers. But this photo right here, it hurts my heart, figuratively, and I will tell you why once I get the other photo. But so this is Bradley. I drove from New Hampshire to Bradley to fly the second to last MD-88 flight. We did meet the last MD-88 in Atlanta though, so I did get to see it, and it was fun. But there's the Mad Dogs on the ground. That's a 717. It's an MD-88, MD-90, I think, or maybe 717. But there's a Mad Dog right there. Whenever I say Mad Dog, I mean the MD-88. That was on the 737 that I flew on. The picture you saw with the plane at the gate a few seconds, or the first plane at the gate you saw. I took the picture on there. That is Delta's little fleet section on their in-flight entertainment that tells you what the fleet is, what kind of planes they have, and I took a picture of that because that was probably the last time I was ever going to see it on there. But yep. So right here was the last MD-88 to have passenger service with Delta. There is no more U.S. commercial airline that flies the MD-88, so that's kind of why it was a really big, significant event for Ave geeks and pilots and all that jazz. There's still MD-80 series planes flying all over the world. In fact, even a few in the U.S., but mainline commercial U.S. companies, they don't have them anymore. If you recall, I believe American retired theirs back in 2018 or early 2019. Yeah, no, in 2019 is when they retired theirs. So it was definitely a huge, kind of a huge hole in U.S. Air travel. These things have been workhorses of Delta and many other mainline airlines for years. So it was crazy to see him go, but and you can see all the people that wanted to come here and not necessarily pay their respects, but pay their respects, and and kind of see it off for the last time, because this is not the normal amount of cars that would be at a gate. Normally it's only like 4 or 5, and we got a whole friggin' used car lot over here. But so like I said, there's a whole bunch of people here just waiting to see the plane come in. In fact, there's actually some people that chartered a helicopter to take photos of it, so props to them. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's the last MD-88. And then that was the one I flew on. No, it wasn't. That was one that was being pushed out, or pushed back. They were going to fly that one to Arizona alongside this one, and they actually flew most of them back to Arizona the same day, which really really sucks, but I don't know. It'd be really cool to pay a visit to one of them. Before they scrap them. With this new company that I'm working for, I have travel benefits. So hopefully I can use the travel benefits to get me to the airport that they're at and go from there. But there's another Mad Dog pushed back. Or that one was leaving. From there, that one was a photo of when they were pushing back. That one right there, that was the one that I flew on, the last MD-88. And it just amazes me how I didn't get the I did get the tail number technically. I think I got the builder's plate or I got the builder's plate number on there. I forget what the airplane, what they call it in aviation, but in the train world, they call it a builder's plate. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I was not looking forward to this day. 2020 really fucking sucks, like, a lot. Yeah, like, Tom Brady left the Patriots back on my birthday, literally March 22nd, or the day before my birthday. He went to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Well, he went into free agency. And then they retired the Mad Dogs, and, man, I don't want to jinx myself, so we'll leave it at that. But 2020 has really sucked. Luckily I've made some really good moments with my friends, so, it's been a partial year, but I don't know. And then of course the hurricane just came and hit us, so. Yeah, I'd always take that picture, not always, but I remember just boarding on the Mad Dog and, seeing the eyebrow, which was a navigation window, and just, I'd always remember seeing that when I was flying at UM and Delta, from Pensacola and Manchester. It was kind of my sign of comfort, but obviously I had to get photos inside the cockpit. I got a whole bunch of photos. Those photos right here made up for last time. I wish I had a selfie stick, because these photos kind of sucked, but I took photos like this before. In Manchester, it was a early morning flight, so the photos came out shitty as expected. You couldn't see anything. This one, they're okay. They could be a lot better for sure. I wish someone from the ground crew took the photo for me, because that would have been 10 out of 10 amazing. But obviously that's a selfie I took with it. This photo is okay. I wish I would have gone back a bit further, because it looks like a different plane than it is. It looks like a Fokker, which is a European airplane manufacturer. Because you can't really see the eyebrow, and it's just really long story. I'm not going to go into it. So that's the checklist. I asked them if I could have that, and they unfortunately said no, because they had to use it again to fly back to Arizona. But like I said, I snapped a shit ton of photos while I was in there, because that was obviously the last time I was ever going to be in a Mad Dog cockpit. And then right here is what Delta sent me. This little panel here. If you remember the panel from earlier in the video, that's what they sent me. Obviously without all the electronics and everything, but and then there's the yoke that they sent me. Not that specific one, obviously, but that's what the yoke is. Man, that one right there. That one, yeah. And then just more photos from our arrival. There's some video, some photos in flight. Yeah, man. That was tough. That one, really took a toll. These are some photos of our in-flight information while I was underway. But I was just photogenic. I never take photos like this. Never. Like inside the cabin, because because I don't want to disturb other people's privacy. Normally I'm just doing my own thing, but this one I felt it was justified to get one last photo inside the Mad Dog. Well, one last photo like that, but that's a view from the flight attendant seat. One of them. That's an emergency exit, actually. But and then there's the view from my seat. That's classic 33F, the one I always sit at, because it's a good mix of a great view of the wing and the engine and the engine sound, which I absolutely love. That's what really made this plane. I don't know. That's why a lot of people loved it. I mean, it looks great, it sounds great, but besides that, realistically, financially, it was an old plane, a gas guzzler, and all the people complained because it was loud. All the passengers that were traveling, for travel, the first class and business people, but the ones that couldn't afford, well, I guess the ones that couldn't afford first class and business, because since the engines were in the back, if you're in the front of the plane, you can't hear them, but, excuse me. But yeah, it's too bad she had to go. And then we're getting to that photo. And I went in the cockpit again. That's what I was talking about, the quote-unquote builder's plate. Wow, I didn't get a registration on that. That photo right there, if you remember back to the 737 sitting at that gate, it's crazy. The Mad Dog leaves there in the morning, and then they replace it with a new plane, so, I don't know, that's my cover photo on Facebook. And, chances are it will be staying like that for a very long time. Yeah. That's when I went to the airport with my friends. So I thought I tried to become a volunteer firefighter, and I still want to, but I don't see it in my future. So I bought a siren control box, and that's the siren control box that I'm never gonna use. I spent like $90 on it too, which fucking, it sucks, but oh well. So I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Okay. This blocked off part here. It's blocking off a tunnel, which leads to some old guy's grave. We weren't grave robbing. It's actually open to the public, but it's kind of hidden. So, that is one of the. That's when my friends and I were hanging out. So I parked right there, and I turned on the running lights to make them think I was a cop. Now from far away, like that would have definitely looked like a cop car, but he actually went on a different road, so it sucked. So, these photos right here are the daytime photos from our overnight trip up north. This was from the first one that just me and Colin went on. It was absolutely amazing. I love doing this so much, and I really want to do it again, like a lot. The best advice I could give is to visit this place at least once in your life. I mean, the views are breathtaking, honestly. There is I don't know what they call this. I guess they call it a waterfall, or it was a cascade, but these are some of the cascades that lead from the top of the mountain all the way down. And someone actually stole that sign when we went back later in June, because we did this trip in May. So when we went back in June, someone stole that since we were gone. Another cascade. Man, so basically that night I only had like soda and an energy drink. I didn't have anything else. And I was dying for water, because this was after we went on a little bit of a hike. And you'll see photos from that in a second. They were 10 out of 10, but I was not ready for that hike, and I just absolutely needed a drink. That water was freezing cold, and it just looked so tempting. Like, it looked amazing. Just look at this. Obviously, from that, it doesn't look great, but when it's over here, nice and clear, nice and cold too, that from now on. If I go to exotic places with a waterfall or water nearby, I'll collect the water and label it. But there's a video from one of the bridges. You can see the mountains surrounding us, and then the cascade with the running water. I'm telling you, photos do not do justice. I need you to trust me on that one. Anyways, that's Mount Washington, tallest peak north of the Rockies. Well, yeah. And then at one point, this had the highest recorded wind velocity on the surface of the Earth. 213 miles, something like that, per hour. Something pretty high. Back in the early 1900s. And the recording equipment, measuring equipment actually got blown off the summit. I do not remember my mountainology terms, but it got blown off the top there, so chances are it was faster. But it turns out the record got beat by some mountain in Australia. This is a few years ago or some shit like that. I don't know, but that is the Mount Washington Omni Hotel Resort. It is supposedly haunted, but a very beautiful place. Very nice. Again, photos don't do justice, but if you remember earlier, I was talking about that very long road where it's like 5 miles and I just did 100 on it. Well, this is said road, not this strip right here, but further down. Luckily, when me and Andrew went in July, this part opened up, the hotel opened up, and I got to drive over there and check it out. But when me and Colin went for the first time, it was closed because this was back when COVID was really scary to everyone. Like I said, late May. Just some more photos. So, this is a giant, well, not giant, but very heavy piece of a coupler, which goes on trains. It connects trains together, if you don't know, but that thing was fucking heavy, like 50, 60 pounds. So here's Colin kicking it down the mountain that we climbed up, and yeah, that's what killed me. Like, I needed water from that, but so this is on top of something known as Frankenstein's trestle. The video looks very low quality. That was a hell of a drop if you would have fell from there, but as you can tell, there's trees that were taller than them there. But so we hiked up that side of that mountain just so we can get up there and get that view, and it was worth it. I mean, just look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's very beautiful. There's the hotel earlier in the night. We decided that I wanted to catch the sunrise right there, but I figured since there's clouds there, then we'll head over here and catch the sunrise over here, and I think it was a good call. That's the gateway that I was talking about earlier, where I take most of my long exposure photos, and yeah, it is a sketchy ass area. I would not go there by myself. Me driving very fast. Wasn't me driving very fast? I think it was. Again, me driving very fast. So this was a stop on our first trip. Obviously, still, we didn't do it on any of the other trips, but the first trip we told ourselves we're going to go on a little photography adventure around New Hampshire. Because last year, that's what we wanted to do, but we never got to it. So this year we made it come true. We stopped at Castle in the Clouds in New Hampshire. Might trespassed a little bit, but we didn't fuck with anything, so hopefully it was with good intentions. But we wanted to go on the edge of the castle and get some long exposure photos of the lake. It didn't work out great. The view kind of sucked. So yeah, but so this was a very shitty photo that I absolutely hate. So since COVID happened in March, much is online grocery pickup. So it was a okay job. It wasn't horrible. The pay was great, really good for what we had to do. It was essentially manual labor with a modern day twist, if you know what I mean. So all these are people's groceries, and we had to organize the bins. So like this number right here, that's 587, and so basically we had to put 587s with 587s and 493s with 493s, shit like that. So the 5 rows of bins here are all unorganized, so I had to organize them, and then when the customers came, I had to distribute them to them. And that was the extent of my job. That was the hardest part, organizing and distributing. Besides that, we would just put bags back in the bins, which is a very repetitive, boring process. And then we would also pick the items, which just pick it out the shelves and put it in the storage area for when the customer comes to pick it up. But I wasn't really picking. My boss she knew I liked distributing, so she had me distribute, and I was very appreciative of that. Picking was okay. I mean, that if you don't want to sweat, then go ahead and do picking, but I didn't mind distributing. And then it was even better. I got to wear shorts later on in my Walmart career, and they don't normally let you wear shorts unless you're a cart pusher, but they let me wear shorts, and that made work so much better because I wasn't sweating my ass off in a pair of jeans or jeans and khakis, which is what I normally wear. But this was a great job experience. I didn't really meet anyone that I would call a lifetime friend or friends at all. I got up with an old friend, which was cool. I didn't see her for a few years. Well, I did make a friend, and then he got fired, so yeah, that's too bad. But alas. And then late in June, the Mount called me, and they're like, "Hey, we're up and running this season, so if you want to come back and work for us," and I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah!" So I put out a LOA with Walmart, which means leave of absence, which an not extended, but a prolonged absent period, so they can't really schedule me. If it got approved, and I don't know if it ever got approved. I think it did, because I still worked for them when I checked a few weeks ago, in late August, but yeah, a word of advice for those of you looking for work, or going to be working, or looking for work eventually: Walmart isn't as horrible as it is made out to be. If you get a store with good coworkers and a job that you somewhat enjoy, then it isn't horrible, and they pay great. I mean, when I started as a cashier, I made $11 an hour, and when I started on the Mount, I made $9 an hour. And then when I worked at I don't really tell many people about this. It is on my resume, obviously, but my first job was at Dipsy Doodle, which is a ice cream slash kind of restaurant, fast food place. And I was a cashier slash server there. So I think I got paid $8 an hour, $8.30, something like that. And obviously the amount starts at $9 an hour. Those are beginner jobs. Well, Walmart will pay you $11 for a beginner job and give you good hours. So, for example, I made $12 with OGB. No, I made 13 actually. I made about 13. I made $12.90. It's probably up to 13 now, but so $12.90 an hour, and I didn't even work 40-hour weeks. And I'd get $600 to $700 a paycheck, bi-weekly, but still, it's not bad pay at all. I absolutely hate Walmart with a passion, so that's why I don't want to ever go back. But if you guys really need money, Walmart is definitely a great place to look for. But that is a video. I think that's one. I don't photos. I'm not gonna bother to check. So, funny story. My friend, before this photo was taken, he got pulled over. We were with him, and he was speeding, and we got pulled over. But just a photo of this lake somewhere in New Hampshire. It is very pretty. I liked it. This was the same day actually. We were kayaking on the lake. Me and my dad, my stepmom, and some friends. And I don't know. I took the photo of the tree. Why not? Just some more photos from the kayaking. And see, this is what I love about New Hampshire. You know, really wherever you go, it's beautiful. There's a lot of kind of rural areas, and not like hick rural. Like there's obviously hick, or how do I put it? There is a lot of small town, good old boy communities in New Hampshire, sure. But when I say rural, I mean a lot of kind of woodland and okay, I guess I should just say forest. Fucking Christ. There's a lot of foresty areas, a lot of trees, mountains, big lakes. It's all really nice. That's a photo of when I first got to you. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, man. So, I am forever thankful. My grandfather let me use his car over the summer, because mine was in Florida, and all summer, May to August, I got to use his car. It was awesome. You can see there, the only reason I took this picture is because he forgot to reset the miles, so I'm like, oh, well, 900 miles, cool. That photo right there, 12,510 miles on the car. I think when I left it with 16,000 or 17,000. I think it's 17,000. Either way, I racked up a lot of miles in that car. It's crazy to think about. That's when we were chasing a train up north. That was my friend Ben. This is his car. I wasn't driving, but right there, that's Mount Washington. I just thought it was a cool picture. That is a old picture. I guess I can't delete. It's a copy of a picture that you will see later on. That is when me, Ben, and Colin were in Portsmouth. Again, we were in Portsmouth. Just took some photos of the bridges. Portsmouth is a really pretty town. Once you get out of the urban area. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those great, it's not even a town, it's a city. It's one of those just nice cities where they have all those, the restaurants and the shops and all that, the small local businesses. It's really nice. If you guys remember back to the last photo video I showed you guys, they're made for you guys anyways. These are the same exact tugboats, but this is a much better photo. Obviously going back later in the day was a better idea. Yeah. This is I bought this back in early, was it May, I think. It's just a camera guide, whatever they call them, snap cards is what they're called. And it's a checklist for cameras, basically, or for photography. So if you ever are questioning something, it's great to have. I have it on my phone. I don't really use it when I should, but I have them downloaded in case I ever need them. That's another one. May 9th, it snowed out of the blue. No one knew it was going to snow. But I woke up and I'm like, oh my god, there's snow outside. There's 3 planes at Manchester. Kind of rare since those are the 3 biggest planes that fly into Manchester. We have an A300, 767, and a 757. All 3 of which I have been in, believe it or not. In fact, I've been in the cockpit of all except the 767. I tried to go in the cockpit of a 767, but the captain and first officer were taking too long, and the flight attendants had to leave, so I had to leave. But SA300 cockpit. I got a tour, so it was really cool. Another stamp card. God. So they were running this train right here, 302. What were they? Oh, Thai Extra. Yes. Yeah, there's a movement of this train. It was cool. They don't run this train often. There's some more photos. They're kind of irrelevant. Like I said earlier, I love my. Oh my god, I love this video. It's gonna take a long time to upload. I love my early morning vlog. I don't know why, I just do. There's a semaphore, I think. No, it's an old railroad signaling thing. This was a lake I went to. Funny story. I was actually supposed to be at work that day when that photo was taken, but I called out sick, and I'm like, yeah, man, I hate work, so I'm gonna call out sick. Because originally the plan was I got ready for work, like I was gonna go to work that day, and on the way to work I stopped by with two of my friends because they were in town. They were checking out the train that was stored there for a few days, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna call out. We're gonna hang out because they were gonna go do their own thing, and I was gonna go into work. I'm like, nope. So this is actually the train that they were checking out that day. Obviously this was a few days before this day, but yeah, I'm gonna leave this one pretty, leave all this stuff. My lips tightly sealed on that one. 420. I went out, took these photos. It was a really nice night. I wish I had my other camera, but I overlook these photos a lot. I think they were pretty good. This was back in April when I was absolutely like heartbroken for the mount. I wanted to be back working on the boat, and that was my first year being in New Hampshire. Well, no, yeah, no. Like I said, I just wanted. This is when I was working at Walmart still, and I just wanted to be back working on the mount because I love the job so much. But I went into that water and it was cold as fuck. Like, very cold. I don't know how cold it was, but it was very cold. 10 out of 10 Walmart parking customer, and that's my dog by her dog door. Airport, some photos at night, nothing really special. That is Tower Hill Road. This is not right here, but down the road over here is the Weirs, where we have the boat docked, and then this is the Narrows, Eagle Island Narrows, if you remember that from earlier. So just to give you an idea of how big the lake is, this is only one small section of it. There's a whole bunch over here. So it's the largest lake in New Hampshire. If you go on Google Earth or Google Maps, you can check it out and see it's pretty big. Yeah, but there's a Christmas tree in the lake, and I was ever so curious as to how it got there, so I took a picture of it. That is a crane at the dock. I'm not too sure what they were doing with it, but it was there. That's where Doris normally sits. So, this is when we were doing some track work for the local railroad. Names will not be disclosed. We basically cut down a bunch of trees that were kind of in the way of the tracks. So, I don't know how I got this photo because, okay, never mind, I do, he sent it to me. But yeah, there was a bunch of trees in the tracks, so we cut them down. It was a pain in the ass. We didn't have a chainsaw, we had an axe, and just a bunch of manual labor stuff. This is when I thought I was gonna go back to Florida in April, so I wanted to get some photos with my dogs while we were still all here, nice and happy. And it's kind of rare for them to come up on the bed sleep on them, but that day they just decided, why not? But that's Maggie, that's Cooper. Yeah, Maggie very rarely comes up there nowadays. But she's still a cute dog. Just some more snow. I absolutely love it when it snows. Absolutely love it when it snows. Especially this thick, heavy snow. That's my jam. There's Maggie. Just look at all that thick snow. So this is what I did for my birthday. I had a very fun time. In the last video, you guys saw the photos from Ogunquit. Well, this is what I wanted to do for my birthday this year, was go to Ogunquit. So that's what we did. We went there super early in the morning, me and Colin and my dad and my stepmom. It was cold as fuck too, but we went there, just took a bunch of photos. That's a failed time lapse. Yeah, I mean, just looking at that's beautiful. No editing done to that, I think. No, yeah, there's no editing because I took these with my phone. But yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous there. I love going to Ogunquit. You can't beat it. That's me petting Maggie, and then there's another video that's not loading. I'm not sure why I have that. I will delete that. I don't really care for 1 second long videos, but this was when COVID started hitting, financially, when people weren't traveling, so a lot of the airlines parked their planes. And this one was actually really interesting to see. This is the 5th runway at Atlanta, and Delta put a bunch of their planes on the runway, and they had them parked there. Something that was probably will not be seen again for a long time. It's a Christmas tree being thrown into a fire. There's a bunch of trees. That was one of the first days back in New Hampshire, me and my friends chased this train. This is NHN, as you can see, but they do stone train operations, so we chased them, and we had a very fun time. This is when I flew up back in March. I mean, this is what I love about flying. Just look at the fluffy clouds and all that fun stuff. There's more memes. This is when I did a ride along with the fire department here in Pensacola. Very fun time. I love doing it. I want to do it again. We only went on 3 calls, but it was still fun. Excuse me. So this is a little area that I found on my way back from work, or on my way to my house from work. I knew it existed, but I wanted to see what it was, and I went there for the first time. I'm like, oh my god, it's perfect, it is beautiful. And it was really cool. I got a C-130 landing there, but that is back in early March when I applied for a job there. And they didn't want me, so now I'm working at this new place, which is much better. A whole bunch of memes, like a whole bunch of memes. This is when I flew back to Pensacola from New Hampshire. The sun was that red, believe it or not. No editing done, it was that red. The reddest I've ever seen it, I think. Here's some more photos from Steam in the Snow. I made a video on some of these photos. Obviously, it'll be uploaded at a later date. So this one's going up before the other ones, but yeah. I really enjoyed this. It was fun. And then here we are again. I was reminiscent of the good old days. I was at the shipyard checking out the ship. So, that's a windmill. And Massachusetts, I thought it was in New Hampshire, but it's behind a school, and whenever crazy. Like, it just, whenever you're driving, it just pops up out of the blue. The thing's huge. And then, again, I had that in the other video. There's a plane. This was a bridge, the border of Maine. It's not gonna let me see where it was, but this was fun. I had a really good time that day. There's some more bridges. This one was further down the road. Well, yeah. Just some snow again. New Hampshire. Early morning trip to Donks with the snow. Fun times. There was the night before. There's Maggie again. There's another Christmas tree fire. So I went to my first Patriots game last year, in December, obviously, and it was a really fun time. One of my dad's friends actually gave us tickets for those seats. We were supposed to be up here in the nosebleeds, all the way up top, but that was so much better. It was awesome. Yeah, I want to get sideline passes, but you have to be affiliated with an actual news organization, so it's kind of sucks, but oh well, maybe sometime in the future. I am really happy that I got to go to that game, though, because that was obviously the last time, well, the second to last time Tom Brady played as a New England Patriot. Now he is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, so it was cool to see him in person, for sure, but hopefully, within the next few years I'll go back, no matter who our QB is. But these are the 6 Super Bowl rings. As you can see, there's 6 pictures, and there's 6 rings, 1 in each picture, so not to brag. Here's a photo of Gillette. It was really cool. I never been there before, besides the time I went here. So it was just, it was really awesome, really fun experience, and coincidentally, Colin was there, so, we talked about it the day before, like a few days before, and I'm like, oh yeah, dude, guess what I got for Christmas? He's like, what's that? And I'm like, I got tickets to the Patriots game. Or, actually, no, it was a huge coincidence. We were just talking, and I asked him, I don't know, but it was a really big coincidence. He's like, wait, you're going to the Patriots game? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm going to. I'm like, holy shit, no way. So, we got to hang out a little bit. We did a little bit of a tailgate. Not really. We just kind of threw the football around. But, yeah. And this is really cool to see. I loved, going to the game. It was awesome. There's some more mountains in New Hampshire. Where was this taken? Somewhere in Belmont. What? Where in Belmont was this taken? I don't believe that. I don't think that was true. There's some more pictures inside the Mad Dog. MD-88. Coming into Atlanta. This was actually a really cool day. We were at school, and the U.S. Army Golden Knights, for whatever reason, the school got them to land on the football field. Again, for whatever reason, I have no idea why. They weren't in town. So maybe it was just a morale booster, and, they paid them to come over. I don't know, it was really weird. But it was cool to see nonetheless. I got photos from that day. I don't think I did get a video, but I don't know what I did with it, so. It was actually kind of weird. They had fire trucks in each corner of the football field. One here, one here, one here, and then they had an ambulance over here, I think. Again, really weird, but just a whole bunch more memes, some football plays that I made, just photos of friends. So here are the photos from last year. I these, and I never uploaded them, so we'll just go in order. Yeah, so, yeah, that's really, there's not much else to say about these. That's when I first got my S10 Plus, and I absolutely love it. Great phone. That's the photo that you guys saw earlier. That's the original. But as you can see, the lake is really beautiful. It has some incredible sunsets. 70% of my data has been used at 2:20, and it's almost been an hour. Shit. Okay, we're gonna have to be a bit more careful with our data usage here, clearly. Wow. So, that is a meal that I had. They were serving that on the boat. It was okay, I guess. Yeah, just a bunch more photos. That's a photo from inside the wheelhouse of the ship. More photos and memes and stuff. I really like this photo. I just feel like the combination of colors here is really nice. I have no idea why. Like this nice deep greenish color, and then the blue, and then the yellow, and the storm, and then the yellow over here. It just really pops out, if you know what I'm saying. And then this is where we left off last time, right? Well, yeah. Huh. Where did we leave off last time? Somewhere around this area, I can tell you that. Just to backtrack, if I didn't cover it, giant windmill, that's the one I was talking about earlier. Some photos from the lake and my grandparents. That was a fun day. My real grandparents here. And then my second year back on Doris. This was pollen at a beach. That's not sand, that is pollen, yes. So, I'm gonna end the video here. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed it. I had a blast. Just, showing you guys all the photos I've taken. I don't know. I love telling stories about the fun times I had. So, anyways, like always, if you guys want to see something else, let me know. Oh my god, this dog. I have said and like and but and all this stuff so much. So I'm gonna try and not say a single one of those words. Starting now. Like always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.